Hi, and welcome to this guide on how to install Pi-hole on Proxmox. First, we need a virtual machine with a static IP. Check this guide on how to set up a virtual machine. Next step, setting up Pi-hole. Check out the official documentation linked below, or follow along. We need to go over some basic networking to understand what Pi-hole is and how it works. Usually, your router handles assigning your IP address and DNS settings. With Pi-hole, one option is to keep the router as the DHCP server, but configure it to use Pi-hole as the DNS server with Unbound. Another is to let Pi-hole take over DHCP, so it gives your devices both an IP address and DNS. I'm mainly going to use Pi-hole just for DNS, but I'll also walk through how to set it up with DHCP. For a rapid and straightforward setup, Pi-hole can be installed by running the following command. Note, if you are using the Proxmox shell, copy and paste may not work. You will need to type the command manually. Access your server by opening a shell or logging in using SSH. I will use SSH. First, update your system by running sudo apt update followed by sudo apt upgrade-y. Copy or run the command from below. Select OK and OK again. Pi-hole will now prompt for a static IP address. This is already configured since it was set on the VM earlier. At this stage, select an upstream DNS provider. Any option may be chosen, as it will be reconfigured later to use Unbound. During setup, Pi-hole will prompt you to enable Stephen Black's host list. Select Yes, as this list defines the domains to be blocked. We will come back to this list later. And enable logging by selecting Yes and choose All. This is recommended for new installations, as settings can be modified afterward. The installation is complete. The temporary password and the URL are displayed here. I'll replace the generated password with a new. Let's make a new password. Use the shell to set a new password. Sudo Pi-hole set password. Configure a new password. Setting up Pi-hole as a recursive DNS server solution, run sudo apt install unbound. We need to create a configuration file named pi-hole.conf. Copy the configuration below into the file, then press Ctrl-O and Enter to save it, and Ctrl-X to exit. See commands below. Check the status of Unbound with sudo service unbound status. If you properly see it failed to start, just restart it. Sudo service unbound restart. Validate Unbound functionality and DNSSEC resolution by executing the below command. The first test should fail while the second one should succeed. Then update Pi-hole to forward DNS queries to Unbound. Access the Pi-hole web interface by entering the previously provided IP in your browser and sign in. Go to Settings DNS and uncheck the DNS there. Add a custom DNS server by entering 127.0.0.1 #5335, then save and apply the changes. Let's move on to the block lists. There are many available, and I've included a link to the one I use, Hagezi block list. However, the big block list collection, Firebog, and others offer similar results. Go look at the lists and find the ones you want to use. You can use multiple lists at the same time. Using more isn't necessarily the best solution. Go to Lists, paste the URL into the address field, and click Add Block List. Then open Tools, select Update Gravity, and click on Update. Time to set up DHCP. Go to Settings DHCP. In the Address Range section, enter the IP range you want to assign. Specify the router or gateway address. Before you set a check mark in Enable, make sure to disable DHCP on the router. Then set a check mark in DHCP server, Enable, and save. If your router won't let you turn off DHCP for some reason, there's a handy little trick to get around. A simple trick is to create a couple of static leases with fake MAC addresses and shrink the DHCP pool to just those IPs. That way the router won't hand out addresses to real devices, and you can let Pi-hole handle DHCP instead.